What is up, YouTubers? We are cleaning we got a bedroom, a hallway, and a set of stairs in this particular home. And we have tile in the kitchen area and the entry, and a little fireplace area. You'll see that here. So we're cleaning the carpet with 2 ounces of Green Dragon per gallon of water and a half an ounce of Simply Citrus multi-purpose orange cleaner, Simply Citrus, basically a D-limonene, and we're using 5 ounces of Go Oxy per gallon of water. So I filled up the 4-gallon jug, put in 4 scoops or 8 ounces of Green Dragon, put in a total of 2 ounces of Simply Citrus, and then 20 ounces of Go Oxy. And we're going to utilize that same magic formula on the carpets and the tile. The tile isn't too bad. The grout's pretty dirty in the kitchen area. And surprisingly, when we were finished, oh my gosh, the client was amazed. This, I should have took some before pictures. It had pet stains, cat throw-up stains, the hallway as well. And I just kind of got the tail end of what he was doing. I was bringing in a bunch of equipment. We pre-sprayed everything with the pre-spray there. Then he used the red pad. The head nozzle on my works, I'm now using that little 40-degree attachment that I had to pick up. The last job that we were at, the head started leaking. There's a seal in there, and I think it's a closed unit. They didn't resell them at the local hardware store, so I picked up a little 40-degree unit. I kind of like it. But anyway, he already red padded or pre-scrubbed all of the carpet. And now he's going over it with the green stripe pad. I brought in the tools to suck up the slurry. And I have some cleaner sealer. Not a real expensive one. The customer's not paying to have the tile sealed. So if they're not paying for like the 511 Impregnate, which I usually use, and they're just paying for a tile and grout cleaning, I'll still spray it with the cheaper sealer, and I'll show that to you here in the video. It's not a cheap sealer. It's free for them. It runs about $15 to $18 for, I think it's a 32-ounce spray, but I've tested it in different areas. It does actually work. And even though they're not paying for the expensive sealer, I do like to put something down at the end of the cleaning, because when I get really, really good results, I tend to get repeat clients, and this is a new client. And so it'll probably be me that will be back here cleaning it again next year or in 8 months. So I might as well put a sealer on it and make life easier on myself. So here you can see we've got the kitchen area, and you can see it looks like they take care of it. We do get kind of a slurry going on there. And she told me she's been putting a little water and dish soap. So that's kind of an issue. That's probably why it's just sloshing all the dirt from the surface down into the grout lines. And we do want to make, it's good to take a video, because you could see here, there's some damage, pre-existing damage here on the tile. Maybe they dropped something heavy. But anyway, so I have it on film. If anybody says, hey, this wasn't here before. Oh, yes, it was. Take a look at this pad. This is the direct mop sale pad. It's a rayon and a polypropylene. And those scrub strips, they work amazing. I'm pretty impressed with the pad. I do still like my Iron Man pads. However, this is great for a one-step, or if you're in a really dirty area, and there was a lot of dirt on the carpets. So I wanted to use that extra scrubbing power after using the red pad. So before we get started, I'm going to have him go out and grab a couple pads we can lay right across here so we don't flip up any of the solution back onto the carpet and have to re-clean that area. And of course the solution will have dirt in it from the tile, so we don't want that. But again, it's the same solution we used on the carpets. I do got to clean the stairs. So I'm going to spray those down, and then I'm going to use the orbital polisher on it. I finished that up off of film. He's going to go ahead and put a few grooming marks on there, but you could see sometimes I'll use the auric and the green brush or the black brush, but I've done a lot more tile jobs. I haven't been filming them all because you got to be careful. You got to have two people in order to film so you don't slip. But I have found that this simple grout brush, I think it's $8 for the head at Home Depot or your hardware store, and a extendable pole. This thing works, incredible. What you're trying to do is dig down into the grout lines. And unless it's a huge commercial job, then of course I'm going to put the brush on and let the brush do that work. I think maybe a CRB might be a good investment if I continue to do a lot of tile. I have a Grout hog. I've used that before, but man, that thing is way aggressive. I thought it was going to dig the grout out of the floor. So here we go both directions with the grout brush. Pre-spray it pretty heavy, not too heavy, and then suck up the slurry. And, I always say, depending how deep the grout is, that's the big thing with grout. The way it gets dirty is you're distributing the dirt. So you're just taking a mop and you're getting all the surface dirt off like she was doing with dish soap and water, and then sloshing it around, and the dirty water's going in those grooves in the grout. And then that kind of exasperates the problem. So here you can see, the Simply Citrus is the only thing that's in there that does kind of have a soapy effect, but not like this. Remember, I use that stuff every day. That combo that I gave you at the beginning, that is Poly-C's go-to combo for everything, unless it's wool. And then I replace I cut the Simply Citrus in half. The Green Dragon, you can go ham with that. And then instead of the Go Oxy, I don't use peroxide on the wool. I'll use Kaput. So I'll put maybe two tablespoons of Kaput into the 4-gallon jug. Here's that cleaner resealer. You can take a snapshot of that. It's Home Depot, $15-16, I think. I always keep one on there. But here you'll see we're going to go through, and you go one direction, then the other direction. And like I said, if you're not doing a big commercial job, it's just, in my opinion, it's so much more effective to just go through each groove, and you can kind of see what's happening. You can put, different pressure on different areas of need. So if you're using the 175 and a brush, or you're using the Grout Hog or a CRB, it's rotating the same in every area. And so if you got some brittle grout, like we did have some areas where the grout was a little brittle, so rather than hit it with the Grout Hog and just risk peeling that grout out of the groove there, we were able to use the brush and just go a little more gentle on that area. And then when you got heavy soil, you can go a little more aggressive. Yes, it takes some elbow grease. Totally worth it, though. You can see here, getting it nice and good. And on this job here, the grout they really filled those holes. It's not deep grooves. So I did use the shop vac in the main kitchen area where there was a whole heck of a lot of grease and dirt. You can see it's looking better already. Oh my land. So, and we're not done yet. We're gonna polish it up with the polar pads over here. These, the bottom side, he laid the grout brush across the top. So we'll go through and I'll wet that, wring it out, and we'll neutralize everything and then come back with a dry mop pad and spray it with the cleaner grout sealer. You'll see me do that and then just mop over it. The gray polar pad you saw on the bottom of the flat mop was after we sucked up all the slurry with the shop vac in the kitchen. I decided that the grout's not that far down that I could get it with a microfiber pad. And with the stuff that was kind of coming up, you could see, that's not from the Simply Citrus, definitely not from Green Dragon or Peroxide, but it's from the dish soap she's been using. So I wanted to use the microfiber and just go over and just kind of absorb all the slurry off these other 3 areas you'll see by the fireplace, and then come back and use the damp, water-only white polar pad to kind of neutralize or lift up any more of that soap residue. After that, if I thought there was still a residue from that dish soap, I would have got my citric acid and probably mixed 2 ounces into a gallon of water, mixed it up, post-spray everything, let it sit for a minute. Basically, citric acid is the same as acetic acid or vinegar, white distilled vinegar, except for when you buy the powdered citric acid, I get it, I think I get it on Amazon. But anyway, it's odorless. So rather than making the house smell like a salad, it's basically on the same scale, 2% acidic or whatever. So it'll neutralize the high alkalinity from that dish soap. And here I've wet the polar pad and wrung it out. Not 100%. Still want to have a little bit of solution. We'll end up coming through and then we'll flip it over. And my feet are not feeling sticky or anything like that, so that's a good thing. And then we'll put a dry polar pad on there. We'll run all over it. That'll give it a nice lustrous, how do you say it? Luxurious or lustrous shine. We're going to hit that too. Starting to pack things up. It's raining out here in the Pacific Northwest, of course. And down those steps out to the front. I will take that flat mop at the very end, like I said, and I will kind of spray down, not a whole lot, just a good mist of the cleaner sealer. And I'll use these pads on the bottom of my flat mop. So we'll do that now. And again, I'm not trying to lay it real heavy, because when I mist it, it's gonna sit. You could see it's still a little damp, so the product is gonna sit or float on top of these tiles, and then as I move the flat mop back and forth, the protector, the solution is going to drop down into the clean grout lines, and of course the solution's clean, and it's going to cure and give it a protective barrier against spills and whatnot. So, and I did instruct the tenant or the owner here not to use the dish soap, give him some ideas with some neutral pH cleaners and some things that they can do in the meantime. And the whole job came out fantastic. Customer was elated with the work on the carpet as well as these beautiful floors. So you can see the wood on the left. This is one of the things when you're in a home, and again, this is a new client, and you're, taking your time, you're doing a good job. They noticed that, and then when she came down, she's upstairs. She was watching a couple times. She'd come down and watch us work. But her and her husband were just wowed They went down in the kitchen. It was fully dry at the end of the job here. And just couldn't believe. Said it looks like the day that the tile was put in. It's just absolutely beautiful. They couldn't figure out why they had the darker areas in there, even though they were regularly maintaining it themselves. So the wood on the left is now scheduled for a cleaning. So I'll be coming back. Some of you, it's going to be a couple weeks, but some of you might remember this job when we're doing the wood if I film it. And then there's some upholstery pieces there we're going to do as well. So that way we can get, in the minimum and above, because just doing the wood would be close to the minimum, but not quite. So they'll take advantage of the upholstery cleaning and the wood cleaning. So that's going to be an awesome video. I'll go through and get any overspray off the wood. And when we do the wood, my procedure there is basically we're going to go through. I may clean it with a red pad and the solution, Green Dragon, and a little bit, 1 ounce probably, to the 4 gallons of Simply Citrus as a grease cutter. And then use the red pad, of course, after we vacuum it and mop it. Then we'll use the red pad and scrub it. And then come back with a white microfiber polar pad and mist it with a little bit of, I've been using that, I need to get some squeaky clean, but I've been using that Zep wood floor neutral pH cleaner. It's actually really good. It leaves a nice shine on the wood. So we'll see. Unless I pick up some squeaky clean, then you may see me use the Zep. But whenever I do it, you know me, I'll tell you what I did, how I did it. We'll look at the results. And if I'm not getting the pop that I want at the end with the microfiber pad, I carry white 3M pads. And I'll do a dry run at the very end with just the white 3M polishing pad, and that kind of heats up the poly or whatever protection's on there and gives it that really good shine. But let's check it out. We're at the end of this job. Looking fabulous, Polly C. If I must say so myself. We kind of get in there. It's hard with the shadows in a home like this, but anyway, everything came out fantastic, including the carpets. I appreciate y'all taking a few minutes out of your busy day to watch my videos. We're always looking to get some content up. Sometimes I'm running a little behind and real busy, so I don't have a lot of opportunity to film, but I'll try as the days go on. If you haven't subscribed, please consider doing so. We'll see you all in the next one.